Hi, I'm Kevin Campshire, and I'm happy I could call Don Murs a friend. We shared countless good times together, playing bridge, going to movies, cooking, eating, drinking wine, traveling, doing things with our daughters. Throughout all of our experiences, Don's love of life, inquisitive nature, generosity, and intellect enriched our time together. Don decided once, out of the blue, that he wanted to see what opera was all about. I don't think he put it that way, though. I had been raving about how wonderful the Metropolitan Opera in HD was, Saturday matinee at the movies, and Don decided he'd check it out. He went to virtually every performance for more than 2 years, more than 20 operas. Now, opera is not necessarily the most obvious thing to jump into on a lark. Different language, different kind of music, strange and silly plots. It does give one an insight into Don's inquisitive and curious mind, the willingness to delve into learning something new, the inquisitiveness, the diligence, the perseverance, the openness to new experience, all reveal how Don approached life. I don't know how Don learned to play bridge. He loved puzzles generally and had a far greater facility in crosswords than I. Maybe because he grew up in the land of the New York Times, the preeminent source for crosswords east of London anyway. His vocabulary was extensive and extraordinary, and he had a great ability of recall. However he learned bridge, he was really good at it, and he enjoyed it. We played together for more than 25 years, and for a while, every week. I remember his telling me stories about going into tournaments on the spur of the moment and doing well. He had the attitude that any outcome was okay, win or lose, as long as he had played as well as he could. It was during the bridge games that we discovered we liked the same kinds of red wine, full of flavor, dense, intense, and lingering on the palate. This led to going to wine tastings and holding them as well. Don liked blind tastings, another kind of game of deduction and recognition. He likes games and puzzles. Another aspect of the bridge games were the weekly movie reviews. To make a list of Don Murs' favorite movies is impossible, as I discovered when his daughter Nikki asked me to make one. He loved movies more than almost anybody I know. He had an encyclopedic knowledge about them and could remember who directed a movie, what year it was made, when the rest of us could barely remember who acted in it. We went to movies together, and I remember that he always had insights into what was going on in movies, usually that most others hadn't noticed. We went to a few Hitchcock festivals, and his observations were always insightful and revealed things to us that we hadn't seen. His powers of observation were truly gifted. After one movie, Minority Report maybe, he said he had spotted references to no less than 5 different Hitchcock movies. I think he also had a very personal view of movies. That is, if he couldn't understand and relate to the people and actions in the movie, he wouldn't care for it. It had to make sense. Even if he might not have done the same thing or taken the same path as a character did, he wanted to see the choices and actions as realistic for the situation. What is also clear is Don's love of living life and experiencing people and events to the fullest. We learned about wine together, and we discovered a mutual love for champagne, and he started a tradition of sharing a bottle over lunch, usually a long lunch, on our birthdays. As he joined the cooking class that Gerard Pangot runs, he experimented with new cooking techniques and shared the results. He was generous with sharing food, champagne, and wine with all of us. His generosity of spirit is one of the aspects of his life we will cherish. The way Don and I met was through our daughters. Don was, at least to my eyes, a wonderful father who helped raise a fine woman. It has been heartwarming to participate, however peripherally, in that relationship. The continuing friendship between our daughters in a way mirrored my relationship with Don. It deepened and matured and developed for life. Going on trips with Don was often exhilarating. I remember his saying once what he liked best about skiing, and he was a really good skier, was that he liked to go fast, very fast. We discovered that also in Australia when he did almost all the driving, on the wrong side of the road, of course. And we got to places much faster than anyone would calculate. Whenever we would embark on a trip, whether it's a hike in the mountain, a trip down a river, a new city, a day trip to ski, he did research and was thus prepared to get the most out of the experience. He loved traveling abroad and even tried to learn Portuguese and French, although even he acknowledged pronunciation was not necessarily his strong suit, but he did know the words. He was a voracious reader. He recommended many books I've enjoyed, and I've always envied how he made time for reading. History, thrillers, sci-fi, all were fodder for his interests. So as we remember Don today and into the future, we will remember his spirit of generosity with his time and attention as well as materially. We will remember a quick and inquiring intellect who loved puzzles, whether they're at the bridge table, in the New York Times, or in the illegal flow of money. We will remember a man who enjoyed food and wine and who continued to broaden his experience and taste throughout his life. We will remember him in the way he loved and cared for his family. We will remember a man for whom the experience of the new was always a pleasure, whether on a new hike in a new country or on a familiar path. We will remember him in the personal interactions, his friendship, and love. And as we remember, we will miss his presence, and we'll keep him alive on in our memories.